On a cool day on April 8th,
when it was 35 degrees,
Sadie and Keirra sat on a bed.
After eating cookies,
they were brainstorming in their head.
They brainstormed so much that they're now brain dead.
This is Blue Water Running Podcast, Season 2, Episode 9.
We hope that this intro is just fine.
Hello, and welcome to the Blue Water Running Podcast. I'm your host, Maren, and this podcast features and celebrates the achievements of high school and collegiate cross-country and track and field athletes from the Blue Water area of Michigan. Today, I am joined by two of the most delightful ladies in area track and field, Yale High School's Sadie Dykstra, a junior, and Keirra Taube, a senior. Not only are they both incredibly talented and accomplished athletes, but they are also humble, hardworking, and hilarious. Sadie is a D2 state champion in the long jump and hurdles, while Keirra is a state indoor champ in the high jump and an outdoor runner-up. Together, this dynamic duo led Yale to a second-place team finish. That's right, the two of them, plus two other athletes on their 4x400 relay, earned enough points to garnish a runner-up trophy at the state meet. Our conversation will cover their team and individual goals, their training, but most importantly, their unique friendship. And I think you'll find Sadie and Keirra just as fun and interesting as I did. And maybe not exactly what you may have expected. Welcome, ladies, to the podcast. It's exciting to have both of you together, the dynamic duo, as I've nicknamed you. So, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, we're going to jump right in and open up with a quick few sentences from the 2025 Outdoor Girls Season Preview. So I'm going to read a statement about you, and then I'm going to ask you a question about what your goals are. So the reason I'm reading it is so you can reference last year. I'm sure you know what you've done. This is more for the listener. So just to kind of reflect upon last year's season moving forward and what you hope to accomplish this year. So we'll start with Sadie. So I wrote, Dykstra was state champion in the long jump and has a best of 18.275. Correct me if I'm wrong. She was undefeated all year, including the Yale Relays, BWAC Championships, Marysville Invitational, Goodrich Invitational, Regionals, and the Blue Water Meet of Champions. Her teammate Taube tried the long jump for the first time indoors and jumped an impressive 17.4, which also ranked her in the top 10 statewide for the indoor season. It remains to be seen if she will add this to her regular meet rotation with only 4 events in which you can compete. So we'll start with you, Sadie. What are your main goals for the long jump this season?
My main goal is probably to get to a higher mark in the 18s, probably around 18.9, 18.10, if not. I have been hitting the weight room a lot more than I have recently. Basketball is a lot more, I'd say, I wouldn't say strenuous, but it's a lot more than it has been since I am competing at a very high level for travel as well. So, that is building up muscle in my legs. So I'm hoping high 18s or possibly low 19s to get a very good mark for this season.
Okay. And then Keirra, do you plan on long jumping outdoors at all this season? Is that on your radar?
I don't really know yet. When I started doing it indoor, my coaches basically immediately texted me and they were like, "You're doing long jump outside." and that wasn't the goal at all. I just did it for fun. But then at the state indoor meet, I did it and I hurt my hamstring. So we're kind of laying off on that one for right now.
Makes sense. Okay. Well, moving on to Keirra. So I wrote, Yale's Keirra Taube is the defending BWAC champ, league record holder with an outdoor best of 5.4, but has jumped 5.6, which she did to win the indoor state title outright with the first attempt clearing. As regional champ and D2 state runner-up, she finished undefeated in all regular season jumps, and she's put in the work all winter with Michigan Racers Track Club. So look for 5.8 on the horizon. And then I did notice that Sadie tried the high jump at the SVSU indoor meet and jumped 5.2. So, question, Keirra, what are your goals in the high jump for your last outdoor season?
My goal is definitely 5.8 because I think it's a very realistic goal for me, especially with what I have been doing indoor. Not specifically in competition and stuff. I had a few injuries this year, so it was kind of hard to work past all those. But especially with that state jump, I think 5.8 should be pretty easy for me. And if I can go higher, that would be great. So
yeah. And then Sadie, do you plan on high jumping outdoors this season?
I don't know. That's really up for grabs with coaches and I. See what's the best for me down the road and see if that is something that I can open up to. If not, I will stick with long jump and keep getting better at that one.
Okay, so this is a great transition into the next question because we're going to jump into hurdling now. So, Sadie, you won the D2 state finals in the 300 hurdles. You placed as the runner-up in the hundreds. You were undefeated in every single hurdle event you ran the entire season prior to states. Keirra, you finished second only to Sadie the entire season until states, and you have the D2 state champion as your teammate. But if you hadn't, you would have been undefeated in your own right. So I know your teammates and your friends, but you're both very competitive, talented athletes. So do you feel like there's a little edge there when you push each other to be better?
No, we hate each other. Just kidding.
Yeah. I never
Yes,
talked to
it's
Sadie
very
unless I'm
obvious.
in this.
Yeah, what the heck? Why'd you do this to us?
You're not going to take a relay baton to her skull, are you? Because, that's
Oh my
happened.
gosh.
Well, that was actually planned, but
Oh,
kind of foiled that one.
No, I think there's always going to be a competitive nature in a sport, no matter what the sport is. I think there should always be something in the back of your mind, whether it be a teammate or somebody else. But I wouldn't, it strictly stays like very friendly competition. I don't think it really gets to a point where it's like, oh my gosh, we have to beat each other or something like that. So for me, it's just a little push. And then from there on, it's who else am I competing against? It's who can I look for down the stretch that is going to push me.
I would definitely say Sadie is a big push for me too. So, like even in practice and everything, it's always just the goal to keep up with Sadie and to push each other. And but it strictly stays on the track. Like once we get back to the locker room or we finish the race, like every single hurdle race, we talked about trying to find a cameraman at the end of the stretch because every time we finish a race, we're always giving each other a high five or a hug or something as soon as we cross that line. So
yeah. Well, I would assume, this is my perception, but I would assume that without each other, you would be pretty much unchallenged. I mean, I guess I should say there aren't many other athletes who come close to your times until you get to the state meet. So maybe that's a good thing that you have each other. I mean,
Oh, it's definitely a good thing. I don't think I would be where I'm at, and I don't think she would be where she's at if we didn't have each other to push each other. So I'm very thankful for that. So
yeah, especially every school day.
Yeah.
Like it's not just like you see the same person at the same meet who's challenging you. It's every day at practice.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, iron sharpens iron. Well, do either of you feel pressure to meet or exceed last year's performances? I mean, they were pretty impressive. And I know that there can be a lot of expectations that are heaped on athletes when they are successful. So what are your feelings in that regard?
I think there's always going to be a little bit of pressure on people, especially because coming out, me in 300 hurdles and long jump, and then also runner up in 100 hurdles. I think that alone, coming back to the state meet at the end of this season, is going to be a bit of pressure built up at that point. It's going to be like, hey, I did this last year. I have to get it again this year. But then it's also, I wouldn't say the fear of failure because failure is part of a sport. And failure, in my opinion, it doesn't exist. You're always just getting better no matter what. You're learning either mentally coping or you're physically getting better or pushing yourself. But I think it's gonna be a bit of pressure, but I have grown mentally in so many aspects that I think I'll be able to handle it.
Keirra, you want to chime in?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
I would say for me, it's a lot of self pressure. I don't feel a lot of pressure from my coaches or anything right now. Or they haven't put the pressure on me yet. So
Right.
maybe I shouldn't say that just yet. But I think that I definitely put a lot of stress on myself, but I've definitely been trying to get better at not being too hard on myself with everything because like Sadie said, failure is a part of your sport and you can't grow without
Yes.
having some struggles.
And I feel like the events that you two are in can be a lot more finicky than, let's say, a mile, where,
Mhm.
you don't have to jump anything or the weather conditions can sometimes affect field events a little more than running events, depending. So, yeah. But you've both been on the highest, stage and know what that's like. So I think that's also an advantage you both have too. Well, you are both considered hurdlers and jumping specialists, if you will. But are you considering running any other sprint relays or different events to mix things up a bit? I know we talked about like swapping the jumps, but for reference, when we recorded your first podcast episodes separately, I asked what event you would like to try but never had. And Sadie said the 800 and Keirra said the pole vault.
Oh, I wish you just saw my reaction right there.
We should have had our cameras on, I guess.
Yeah.
She's like, wait, I said that?
Yeah. So actually, it was supposed to be scheduled Wednesday and Thursday this week. So tomorrow and Thursday, I was supposed to be going to Hillsdale for a heptathlon. So that actually got postponed due to weather because it's supposed to be like 40, rainy, and snowy, and whatever the heck it's gonna be. It's gonna be bad. So they said next week on Wednesday and Thursday, they rescheduled it so that it is going to be on those 2 days. And so yeah, we're gonna get the wish of the 800 javelin shot put, and then the 200 and then all the other ones: long jump, high jump, hurdles.
Have you thrown a javelin prior to this?
Well, me and Keirra messed around with it a little bit last summer.
Oh, that sounds scary.
And then I went down into Grand Rapids, and I worked with Joe Sobolski. He is I don't know how many times he went to the Olympic trials, but he went to the Olympic trials for the decathlon, I believe.
Okay.
And so he gave me a couple pointers and tips. He and my dad were like rivals but buddies on the baseball field. They both pitched. I don't know how that works out, how you have a rival on baseball, but I don't play baseball. But no, so we're getting the wish of the 800, I guess.
And so much more.
Yeah, you get to see a shot put one too.
Oh my.
Yikes.
So anything for you, Keirra, that you think you might try that you haven't?
I think that this year it might be a little bit too late to start trying all that stuff. I definitely wish I would have tried stuff earlier. But this summer I was supposed to do a heptathlon too, but then we just decided against it. And indoor, my coach was talking to me and he's like, I think you should have tried that. And I'm like, well, it's a little late now. Yeah. But pole vault, I did actually try it last summer and I had a lot of fun, but my shoulders definitely hurt for like a week straight. So I don't know if that's something I could keep doing because I have no arm strength.
Well, you could always lift weights. Apparently that's what Sadie does now. Okay, so anything that you might try like in the league though, like a normal, BWAC event, not, college type stuff.
I'm not really sure. I mean, whatever my coaches put me in, I don't really care what they put me in. I might regret saying that later. I hope I'm not in the mile next week. But I don't know. I feel like I'd be up to try basically anything. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you are both state champion athletes. So what would you consider the most important element or elements of your training in the off season?
Definitely staying active, I believe, is a big one. You can't go from doing all these exercises and strengthening and getting in shape and then take a whole summer off, or a summer in a season and then a summer, a season in a season. Like, you can't have that downtime where you're really like not doing much. You always can have breaks, but staying in shape and then staying healthy and continuing to progress in what you do, I feel like is a huge part of the off season.
I would say the same, where definitely you don't really take a full off season, like keep working at what you're trying to do. Usually I would just do like plyometrics or something in the off season. This winter, I obviously did that indoor track club, and we worked with more specific training. But definitely staying healthy is a big one, because if you're in your technical off season where you're not competing and you're overworking yourself, you're gonna come to your regular season and you're just gonna be dead. And if you're already starting the season with shin splints or hurt muscles, you're not gonna progress.
Yeah, so healthy balance. Yeah. Well, let's talk the 4x4. So Yale is the indisputable favorite to return. The closest anyone got in our area before the state meet was 2 seconds, and that was Goodrich. And they have a state champ on their team. That's Layla Jordan. She won the 800. You won the BWAC, set the league record at 410, won every invitational, regionals, and then took fifth at the state finals in a 406. So the two other members of your relay were only freshmen last year, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are your goals in that event for this season, and how fast do you think you can go?
Well, our goal is definitely to break our school record. We are, what, 1 second?
Very close. Less
2
than a
seconds?
second.
Less than a second? We're really, really close to our school record. So that's probably our biggest goal. And then if we get that time, which is probably around 404, 405, then we're definitely going to see a good placing in states. So, I mean, just getting better. I mean, our handoffs in states, we weren't expecting the big mob, so I'm sure that would have cut off a little bit of time. But no, that's the live and learn situation. But
Yeah,
other
because
than
when
that,
you're always in first, you never have anybody in your way.
yeah, that was a big like
Yep.
what
Yep.
moment.
Yep.
But yeah, no. So I think those are our biggest goals right now. Just attaining a better time, I'd say.
So last year, you took second place at the state meet as a team with 4 girls competing. So obviously, the two of you, your performances were instrumental in scoring so many points. Dearborn Divine Child won with 46, and you were runner-up with 39. Now, I went over and I looked at the stats. So Divine Child had 2 girls that placed in the 100 and the 200. They had another one in the 400. And then, like you, they had 2 more girls join up with them to place in some sprint relays. So between 6 to 8 girls scoring points, winning the state title. 2 of their all-state sprinters were seniors, and you return everybody. So what are your thoughts on a state team finish?
Very high hopes.
Let's get to talking about this one. Oh, we want that first place so bad, or at least I do. I really want first. That would be such a big bragging right to come back and be like, our 4, possibly more girls. We don't know yet. I'd hope that we're gonna get a couple more, maybe 4 to, I'd say around 8, maybe 4 to 7. I hope. Be like, hey, our 7 girls just took first at the state meet. Be like, hey, they showed up. Like, that is so cool. That would be like, is that the first time in school history that we take
3-1?
first?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. I'd have to go look at that one.
I think so, because we've only had runner-up, I think.
Yeah. Don't quote us on that.
States.
But it would be a very historic moment having 7 girls place as first in a state track meet.
It's
So
definitely cool overall. Too.
Yeah.
We're definitely hoping for that first place. I think the first thing our coach said when we walked into practice the first day was, you guys should put in the work because we want that trophy, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and that's not including anyone else who might qualify. So you never know, there could be somebody else on your team that makes it and potentially gets all state as well. So, yeah.
That eats you.
Uh-huh. Well, that was my next question. Do you see any other freshmen or newcomers to the team that you think will make an impact?
Sage Cole.
Big one.
She is
I know who that is.
so fast. Oh my gosh. She is probably she is not probably, she is a huge threat. She is so fast. Oh my gosh. We call her a robot because she does all the, like, we did the distance did a ladder down drill where they did 1200 and then 800, 600, 400, 200, 100. And I swear, after every single one, she clicked her watch to start, got to the end, wasn't even breathing hard, clicked her watch to stop. They took a minute break, right back on the track, did it again and again and again. And I was like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even look tired. Like, she is chugging along and she is not even tired. She's like, she looks like she's at ease when she runs. So her times are crazy too. So, I mean, I think she is definitely a big threat in BWAC. And then possibly, I hope that she is one of the girls that can get to states because she would be a huge difference.
She did that as a freshman for cross country. She dropped 2 minutes and then qualified. She got 8th place at regionals, and you have to be in the top 15 or your team has to qualify. And then ran at the state meet as freshman, and that doesn't happen very often. So, yeah, she got some good distance background. And I know that she works really hard, so.
Yeah, she's just, oh my goodness. She's crazy.
Any other shout outs? Are you good?
I mean, the usual. Maddie. Maddie is gonna run. I said she's gonna run under a minute this year in her 400. I was like, no, you're. She's like, no, I'm not gonna. She's gonna. She's gonna. With the pace she ran, and she got a 101 last year, or a 1 minute. I don't know. I think it was 101, but I'm not too sure. With her running that as a freshman, I think she has the freshman record at Yale. Does she?
Yeah.
She has the freshman record at Yale. So, I mean, there's definitely a ton of improvement that's to come from her.
Yeah, her PR last year was a 61.6.
Yes, she's quick.
Yep. All right. Well, when I asked Keirra in her first interview, which was, by the way, only episode 2 of the podcast, she was my first real guest besides my own kid. So,
let's go.
Yeah, right?
Wow, I'm a loser.
No, let's just say your sound quality was a lot better. But when I asked Keirra in her first interview about an athlete she would want to meet, she said, quote, "Me and my teammate Sadie, we always joke around about this, but there are 2 runners from Michigan, Mia Manson and Riley Ammenhauser. They are good jumpers, pentathletes, if you don't know, if you're listening. And we're always like, oh, we're going to be the next Riley and Mia because we're trying to go to the same college or something. We always joke about that. So, Keirra, you graduate this year. Do you have plans to continue competing collegiately?"
That was definitely a big goal I had, but when I think about competing in track collegiately or going to college, my first main goal is education and making sure I like where I go, because you can't really put all your eggs in one basket and think track's going to be the rest of your life, unfortunately. I just kind of look at the hard hitting side of it, I guess. And especially with that new NCAA rule, it kind of screwed my class over a lot. But I definitely looked at a lot of schools and I talked to a lot of schools. Okay. I looked at a lot of schools. And with the places I like, my top choices, I'm sorry, I'm like freaking out over here. I told her she has to tell you the places that she's looking at.
Oh, well, you do not have to reveal that for everyone here. If you're not comfortable, I put no expectation or pressure on you. You could have just said, no comment.
I can't. I don't really care. But since we're talking about Michigan, I did talk to them. That didn't really work out. So I'm not sure if me and Sadie's dreams are going to come true on that one. But I talked to Wisconsin and Purdue for a minute, and then my top choice right now is Vanderbilt. And I was talking to their coach, and he said to keep them updated for walk-on position because of that new rule and everything.
Right.
So that's maybe the hopes, but I'm not going to be too bummed if that doesn't work out, I guess. I mean, I will be bummed, but I can't put too much expectation on it.
Right. Well, it sounds like you have a good perspective. So, and you're not the only athlete who's in that weird in between, because yeah, the incoming freshman class, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, exactly. And I just feel bad for everyone in the situation, like colleges too and everything, like the girls who have to get cut,
right,
who are on the teams already.
Yep. Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah.
All right, Sadie. So you have another year yet. And I know that we talked when I interviewed you last as well about your love for basketball and track, and it's really hard for you to decide in between. So, any colleges on your radar?
I've gotten offers from Davenport, Wayne State, and then Ferris State for basketball, and then I have other looks that interest me. And basketball's like kind of category. But then also with Michigan, I went on a junior day to U of M, and I got to look around there, and then Central too. But then again, I don't know what they're gonna offer me or any of that stuff. So I mean, it's still a super hard choice. Like I'm gonna have to figure that one out this summer. But right now it's like literally 50-50 with track and basketball. It's gonna be a tough one to cut one out if I do cut one out. Because those offers that I have gotten, they did say I could do both if I would like to.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how that sounds to me right now. So I'm just playing it by ear right now and enjoying my last kind of stress-free / stressful season at the same time because I will have to make a choice by the end of summer or at least the end of my travel basketball season. I'll have to try and like narrow it down and be like, hey, come on, you got to figure one out. And then once I get past that, I'm sure I'll be just fine.
Yeah. It's hard to do both collegiately. The seasons are much different. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, this is not so serious. When I asked Sadie in episode 13 the question about what she liked to do in her spare time, she said one of her favorite things to do was, again, I quote, hang out with Keirra, and you could probably find us in Port Huron, in Target, at Starbucks, probably eating most of the time. Is this still true?
Yeah, we're very busy, but when we do get to meet up and talk, we're together for hours.
Now it's usually in my basement playing Fortnite. So, that's a secret. Oh. Parties in my basement, Fortnite parties.
Hey, there is nothing to be ashamed of enjoying your leisure time. You're both very hardworking, busy young ladies. Well, my question is, do you have any new favorites at Starbucks that you would recommend?
Oh my gosh. No, because this is the best question ever.
Forget running. Okay. It's all about Starbucks.
I gotta tell everybody this. You guys have to go to Starbucks and you gotta order a venti iced matcha latte, but you have to ask for strawberry puree in it. Keirra doesn't like that part, but I like that part. It just makes the drink a little uglier, but it tastes good. I promise you. And then strawberry cold foam and 2 pumps of vanilla. I promise you guys, it is the best thing ever.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I mean, I love coffee, but I started a matcha addiction because, it's better for me. So I have a matcha and coffee addiction now.
Okay, Keirra, do you have a favorite?
I would say we both have definitely been on a matcha kick lately. But, I kind of stopped drinking coffee because if I make coffee, I just make it at home, and I don't want to say I've over drink it, but I used to drink a lot of coffee. So I've been kind of more into like matcha and refreshers and everything. Usually if I go to Starbucks, I get a pink drink or something. That's my personal favorite right now.
She's an energy drink geek.
Yeah, I'm a big unfortunately, I'm a big energy drink fan.
I won't tell you my thoughts on that.
That's okay. I know them. I probably know them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you seem like you're pretty intelligent. So, well, I had recently, I think it's called the Midnight Blackberry. That's really good. It's like a blackberry sage syrup, and then they put coconut milk. If you don't like coconut milk, you could get it with something else. And then there's actual frozen and freeze-dried blackberries in there. It was really good.
Ooh,
so yeah, really good.
Yeah,
trip tomorrow.
It was quite tasty. I actually bought a bunch of stuff and started making them at home, so I don't have to go to Starbucks. And I made my own blackberry syrup.
Oh, yeah, tasty. Go spend $9 on a drink.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's not cheap.
I got my matchas at home though, so
yeah, I know. If you can find a copycat and do it at home, that's the way to go. Although it never quite tastes just as good.
Yeah,
it's never quite the same. All right, and the most important question to wrap it up: are the shades making a comeback?
Yes.
Yeah, obviously.
That's our staple piece right there.
Well, I was going to say, if you're looking for these ladies, look for the shades.
Yeah, trust us. We got more goodies. We're going to pop out and look like the sickest, most coolest people you've ever seen running. And we're going to get the coolest pictures ever.
Well, I don't know if you realize this about yourselves, but I travel around the meets a little more than you probably do because you're focused on competing. But I hear what other athletes say when they see you, and they're all in awe.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, oh my gosh,
Don't boost
there's that girl that's the state champion. She's so fast. Or there's that girl that jumps like 5'6". It's so funny listening to other people's reactions when they see
That's really surprising to me.
my ego's going to get boosted. I can't have this.
Which I think is important to note because you're the least egotistical people I've ever met, and you have every reason to be, but you're totally not. So that's the best part about it. I want to tell them, I'm like, listen, they're really not like that. You could go up and say hi.
Yeah, when they say hi to me on like the start lines, I'm always like, oh my gosh, hey, you look so good.
I think it's the funniest thing ever because I actually have past people who are pointing at Sadie and saying, "Oh my gosh, she's so cool," and stuff. And I'm like, I know her, and oh my gosh, if you could see what she was doing before this podcast, I'd be like, you guys don't even know her. Like she's not just like some big sports geek. Like she's just like a normal person. Like I swear.
You should tell them, listen, I know her and she's not that cool.
Yeah, she's such a nerd. She's so weird.
Well, my daughter plays basketball for Armada, and Armada and Yale have been, rivals this year. And Brooklyn, she would tell me that you would chit chat on the court. She'd be like, "Oh, I'm so hot," or "I really gotta pee."
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think I was looking straight at her, and I was like, oh, I need to pee so bad. Can this game be over?
Well, I think it's just funny because it shows that you're just a regular human doing what you love. Yep. So if anyone sees you ladies out there, no need to feel intimidated, folks. They're just regular people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, regular people that win state titles. But anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm excited to see. I want to thank you both for coming on. Like you said, you're both very busy, got lots to do, but you're not too busy to have fun. And that's what I love about both of you. So I'll be rooting for you. Excited to see what amazing goals you accomplish this season. And once again, thank you for coming on the pod.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right. You want to close us out?
Whoa, we
didn't think about this one.
Okay. We're thinking of one right now.
You can be totally spontaneous.
This is the end of the podcast. I'm hoping this season we really run fast.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is good. Let's do that.
Okay. Wait, what was it? This is the end of the podcast. Okay, I got it. And then you're going to do the second part.
Okay.
This is the end of the podcast.
I'm hoping this season we really run fast.
Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. Please share an episode to help spread the word about Blue Water Running's mission, which is to feature and celebrate achievements of high school and collegiate cross-country and track and field athletes from our area. You can follow Blue Water Running on Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, along with athlete and meet reports and photos on the website at bluewaterrunning.org. Coverage of Blue Water Running is sponsored in part by Elite Feet of Port Huron. If you need running shoes, spikes, or apparel, they have a friendly and knowledgeable staff to help you find the right fit, and they have spent years supporting local athletes in our area. They are located at 327 Huron Ave in downtown Port Huron. Verlindy Insurance, located in Richmond, Michigan, is a supporter of coverage on Blue Water Running as well. Training as an athlete teaches you resilience and preparation. Apply those lessons to your life with their insurance plans. Be ready for anything with them by your side. You can visit verlindyinsurance.com or email Noah at verlinde insurance.com for more information.